Imagine reaching into your pocket for a handful of change and unknowingly holding a coin that could change your life forever. A coin so ordinary in appearance that millions of people have spent it without a second glance. Yet hidden among everyday dimes, one remarkable piece has sparked intense conversations among collectors across the United States. Some believe an extraordinary example could command astonishing prices under the right circumstances, turning a tiny piece of metal into a life-changing treasure. The question is simple. Could one of these coins be hiding in your home right now? Every year, billions of coins leave the United States Mint and enter circulation. Most are worth exactly their face value. A dime remains a dime. 10 cents today, 10 cents tomorrow. But every once in a while, something unusual happens during the minting process. A rare mistake. A striking anomaly. A detail so unexpected that collectors spend years searching for it. The story of the 2021 D. Roosevelt dime begins in Denver, where countless dimes were produced and released into circulation. At first glance, these coins looked completely normal. They carried the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front and the famous torch, olive branch, and oak branch design on the reverse. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Some of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered looked perfectly ordinary until someone examined them more closely. That is why serious collectors inspect every coin they receive. They understand that hidden value often reveals itself only to those willing to look beyond the surface. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table late one evening. A jar of loose change sits in front of you. You begin sorting through pennies, nickels, quarters, and dimes. Most are common. Most will never be worth more than face value. Then suddenly you notice a 2021 dime with a Denver Mint mark. Your heart skips a beat. Before we answer that question, let's understand what makes a coin valuable in the first place. Rarity is the foundation of value. When a coin exists in extremely limited numbers, collectors compete to own it. The fewer examples available, the stronger the demand becomes. But rarity alone is not enough. Condition also matters. A coin preserved in pristine condition can be worth dramatically more than a worn example. Tiny scratches, discoloration, and signs of circulation can significantly affect value. That is why professional grading services play such an important role in the coin market. Now consider the possibility of a rare mint error. Mint errors are among the most exciting discoveries in numismatics. These mistakes occur during production and create coins that differ from normal issues. Off-center strikes, double dies, missing design elements, and dramatic planchet errors can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. This is where the mystery surrounding certain 2021 D dimes becomes fascinating. Collectors continuously search for unusual varieties and production anomalies. A coin that appears ordinary today could become the focus of intense collector demand tomorrow if a significant error is confirmed and documented. Think about that for a moment. A coin worth 10 cents could suddenly attract national attention simply because of a tiny detail overlooked by everyone else. That possibility keeps collectors searching. Now let's talk about identification because this is where many people miss their opportunity. Start by locating the date. The coin must display 2021. Next, look beneath the date on the obverse side. You should see a small D mint mark indicating production at the Denver Mint. Once you've confirmed the date and mint mark, carefully inspect the entire coin under strong lighting. A magnifying glass can help reveal details invisible to the naked eye. Patience is critical. Many collectors rush through the process and overlook important clues. The most successful treasure hunters examine every coin methodically, understanding that life-changing discoveries often hide in the smallest details. Now imagine finding something unusual. Perhaps the lettering appears doubled. Perhaps part of the design seems misaligned. Perhaps the strike looks dramatically different from other dimes minted the same year. At that moment, excitement begins to build. You compare the coin to standard examples. The differences remain obvious. You conduct further research. The evidence becomes stronger. Suddenly, the possibility of owning a genuinely rare coin no longer seems impossible. Stories like this have fueled the dreams of collectors for generations. Across America, valuable coins have emerged from pocket change, piggy banks, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers. Many were discovered by ordinary people with no professional numismatic experience. Teachers have found rare coins. Retirees have found rare coins. Cashiers have found rare coins. The common thread connecting these discoveries is curiosity, the willingness to look, the willingness to learn, the willingness to pay attention when everyone else ignores what is right in front of them. And that brings us back to the incredible possibility surrounding certain modern coins. While most 2021D Roosevelt dimes remain worth face value, collectors understand that extraordinary examples featuring significant errors, exceptional condition, or unique characteristics can command remarkable premiums. That possibility fuels countless hours of searching. Some collectors examine thousands of coins every month. Others spend years building complete sets and studying mint varieties. Many never find a major rarity. Yet the hope remains alive because every legendary discovery started with a single coin being noticed by someone who cared enough to look closely. Imagine the emotions involved: disbelief, excitement, curiosity, anticipation, the realization that a routine piece of change may not be routine at all. Those emotions have driven coin collecting for more than a century. They continue driving it today. And they will continue driving it tomorrow. Because somewhere out there, another discovery is waiting. Maybe it is hidden in a bankroll. Maybe it is sitting in a cash register. Maybe it is mixed among thousands of ordinary dimes in circulation. Or maybe it is already inside your home. That possibility transforms an everyday coin hunt into an adventure. Every handful of change becomes a mystery. Every coin becomes a question. Every date and mint mark becomes a clue. And every discovery becomes a reminder that extraordinary opportunities can appear in the most ordinary places. As you search your coins, remember to focus on the essentials. Verify the 2021 date. Confirm the D-mint mark. Use magnification whenever possible. Compare suspicious examples to normal coins. Study potential mint errors carefully. Protect unusual finds from damage. And when in doubt, consult experienced collectors or professional grading services. The next great discovery could belong to anyone. It could belong to a lifelong collector. It could belong to a beginner. It could belong to someone who has never examined a coin before today. That is the beauty of coin collecting. Treasure does not always announce itself. Sometimes it hides quietly in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. And if a truly extraordinary example emerges, collectors could compete fiercely for ownership. In the most dramatic scenarios, rare coins have achieved values measured in $1 million, capturing headlines and inspiring new generations of treasure hunters. The dream of finding a coin worth $1 million continues to motivate collectors across the country. So before you spend your next dime, take a closer look. Examine the date. Check the mint mark. Search for unusual details. Pay attention to what others overlook. Because history has shown again and again that remarkable discoveries often begin with a simple glance at an ordinary coin. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine pulling a simple dime from your pocket change and discovering that it could be worth $3.5 million. Not a rare gold coin. Not a centuries-old treasure. Just a small silver-colored dime that looks almost identical to millions of others still circulating across America. It sounds impossible. It sounds like the kind of story people dismiss as a fantasy. But every year, collectors uncover ordinary-looking coins hiding extraordinary secrets, and some of those discoveries completely change lives. Today, we are diving into the fascinating mystery surrounding the 1995 D Roosevelt dime, a coin that most people would never think twice about. At first glance, it's just another 10-cent piece. It passes through cash registers, sits forgotten in jars, and gets tossed into drawers without a second thought. Yet hidden among these common dimes are examples that have stunned collectors, generated intense excitement, and sparked treasure hunts across the country. Imagine walking into your kitchen, opening an old drawer, and finding a dime that everyone else overlooked. A dime that spent years hiding in plain sight. A dime that could potentially command an incredible premium because of a rare error, unusual condition, or highly sought-after characteristic. The story begins in 1995 at the Denver Mint. Millions upon millions of Roosevelt dimes were struck that year. The Denver Mint worked around the clock producing coins for circulation. Bags of freshly minted dimes left the facility and spread across the nation. To most people, these coins were ordinary. Nothing special. Nothing worth saving. But experienced collectors know something that casual spenders don't. When coins are produced in massive quantities, mistakes can happen. Tiny mistakes. Rare mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes create coins that become legendary among collectors. For years, people ignored countless 1995D dimes. They spent them without looking. They dropped them into vending machines. They rolled them up and deposited them at banks. Yet somewhere among those millions of coins were pieces that would attract serious attention from experts. Now imagine the excitement of a collector examining a roll of dimes late at night under a bright lamp. One coin catches the eye. Something looks different. Maybe the strike is unusual. Maybe there's an error. Maybe the condition is far superior to almost anything else known. That moment is what drives collectors. The possibility that an overlooked coin could be hiding among everyday change. And that's why stories like this continue to captivate people across America. Let's talk about how to identify a 1995D Roosevelt dime. First, look at the front of the coin. You'll see the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Just below the date, look carefully for the mint mark. On a Denver minted coin, you'll find a small D mint mark. The date should read 1995. The coin's reverse features a torch in the center with an olive branch on one side and an oak branch on the other. These design elements are familiar to anyone who has handled modern American dimes. But here's where things become interesting. Most 1995D dimes are worth only face value if heavily circulated. The real excitement comes when collectors discover unusual examples. High-grade specimens with exceptional preservation can command surprising premiums. Error coins can generate even greater interest. Collectors carefully inspect coins for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other minting abnormalities. These errors transform an ordinary coin into something unique. Imagine finding a 1995D dime with a dramatic striking error that immediately stands out. Suddenly, a 10-cent coin becomes a conversation piece. It becomes a mystery. It becomes a treasure. Many collectors spend years searching through rolls from banks hoping to find something special. Most searches yield nothing extraordinary. Then one day, everything changes. A rare discovery appears. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story. Every scratch, every mark, every detail represents a moment in history. The 1995D dime was produced during a fascinating era of American coinage. The nation was entering a new technological age. The internet was beginning to expand. Yet coins remained an essential part of everyday life. Millions of Americans carried these dimes in their pockets without realizing that future collectors would study them so carefully. Now here's something many people overlook. Condition matters enormously. But a coin preserved in pristine condition can be a completely different story. Collectors use grading standards to evaluate coins. The highest grades are incredibly difficult to achieve. A tiny imperfection can make the difference between a valuable coin and an extraordinary one. This is why professional grading services play such an important role in modern collecting. They authenticate coins and assign grades that help determine market value. Imagine finding a 1995D dime that appears flawless.
No había square.
Strong details. Sharp strike. Brilliant surfaces. That discovery alone would be enough to get a serious collector excited. Suddenly, the story becomes even more compelling. Throughout coin collecting history, unexpected discoveries have created headlines. Coins thought to be ordinary turned out to be remarkable. Hidden treasures emerged from collections, bankrolls, estate sales, and forgotten jars. These stories inspire collectors because they prove that opportunity still exists. Not every treasure has already been found. Some are still waiting to be discovered. Perhaps the most fascinating part of the hunt is that anyone can participate. You don't need expensive equipment to start. You don't need decades of experience. All you need is curiosity. Take a magnifying glass. Examine the date. Check the mint mark. Study the lettering. Inspect the edges. Look for doubling. Search for unusual features. Pay attention to anything that seems different. Many valuable discoveries begin with a simple observation. One collector notices something unusual. Another seeks expert advice. Authentication follows. Then comes the shocking realization that an overlooked coin may be worth far more than anyone imagined. That possibility keeps the hobby alive. And it keeps collectors searching. Across America, countless jars, boxes, piggy banks, and drawers contain old coins that haven't been examined in years. Families inherit collections and often have no idea what's inside. Sometimes incredible surprises emerge. A single coin can transform an ordinary afternoon into an unforgettable moment. Imagine hearing that a rare coin sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine realizing a similar coin sits in your own collection. Imagine the anticipation as experts inspect it. The uncertainty. The hope. The excitement. Those emotions are why coin collecting remains one of the most rewarding hobbies in the world. It's not just about money. It's about discovery, history, patience, knowledge, and the possibility that something extraordinary is hiding where nobody thought to look. The 1995 D Roosevelt dime reminds us never to underestimate everyday objects. What appears common may hold hidden significance. What seems ordinary may possess extraordinary value. So the next time you receive change from a store, don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look. Examine every detail. Look for the 1995 date. Look for the D-mint mark. Inspect the surfaces carefully. Search for unusual characteristics. You never know what might be waiting. Some of the greatest coin discoveries started exactly that way. One coin. One moment. One careful inspection. And one person willing to look closer than everyone else. Perhaps that's why stories about valuable coins continue to capture our imagination. They remind us that treasures aren't always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, moving quietly through everyday life while waiting for the right person to recognize them. Maybe the next remarkable discovery is already sitting in a coin jar, tucked away in a forgotten box, or mixed into spare change from years ago. And maybe, just maybe, a seemingly ordinary 1995 D Roosevelt dime will become the coin that changes everything. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million.